Trying to listen to Taylor Swift's album 1989 in China? Well, this happened on QQ Music, which is China's version of Spotify. When internet users tried to share the album, they were given errors. Another internet user reported that he got in trouble for sharing Taylor Swift's album on this particular day of nothing happened. And also, video games in China, especially mobile games, have seemingly all gone under maintenance mode on the same day, which is June 3rd, and some of them limited or restricted the ability to change avatars, profile pictures, add signatures, and comments onto their profiles. Basically, a lot of the social features that were available before. Makes me wonder, what exactly happened on this day?
On June 2nd, 2026, 2 days before the 37th anniversary of June 4th Tiananmen Square massacre, a user on Chinese social media platform posted a simple question: why can't I send candles in the game called Sky, Children of Light? And this post got deleted, and that account was also banned from publishing content. Now, this game that he spoke of, Sky, Children of Light, is published in mainland China by NetEase, which is a video game conglomerate. And it's quite typical for Chinese social media platforms, online games, to suddenly go Barbra Streisand before June 4th every single year. A day of obviously nothing happening in Beijing, or a day that nothing happened in Tiananmen Square. Now, on June 3rd, NetEase quietly issued an in-game notice saying that some features are temporarily unavailable due to technical upgrades. It's pretty interesting because they always say it's some sort of a system upgrade, or some games would even go into like 2-day maintenance, like literally on June 3rd and 4th, so that even though nobody knows what happened that day, it seems like everybody knew what happened that day. Now, players immediately obviously understood that they can't say things related to this, and across Chinese forums, complaints spread. Chat was disabled, friend requests couldn't include notes, and core social features like candles, shadow passes, music notes, paper boats, they were all taken offline. And people were complaining because this is a social game and they won't let you socialize, particularly in these two sensitive times, June 3rd and 4th. Now, the entire Chinese server had effectively been silenced for 2 days, not just in this game, but also in Overwatch. By the way, Overwatch is an American company game, or a game made by an American company by Blizzard Entertainment. And so, but on the Chinese Overwatch server, apparently the chat has been disabled, or the fact that is you cannot type certain sensitive content on there. Also on June 3rd, multiple users discovered that on Weibo, which is China's like Twitter, they had added KFC's Crazy Thursday, which is this promotional day, to its banned search list. So yeah, for some reason this year, June 4th had to be on a Thursday. And that's really bad for anybody who's craving KFC that day, because, you know, you can't get the best deal online. But you can still go to KFC, grab 2 bags of the fried chickens, walk to Tiananmen Square, and have fun with the tanks. Now, what if you wanted to ride a bike through the Forbidden City? You know, that's your morning routine. Well, probably also getting a ban coming your way. It's my duty.
Okay, so it's editing David here, just putting more snippets into this video, because I just found out today that ITN, a British-based media, actually released their secret or treasure trove worth of unseen footage smuggled out of China from the reporters during that week in Beijing. And it's honestly shocking because we've never seen this stuff.
They seriously think the government lies.
I think Chinese Communist Party should be wise and should listen to the people at all levels.
Government is lazy, just like a donkey. If you give it a whip, it will move a bit. If you do not beat it, it will stay still there.
The reporter smuggled this out of China from the ground, interviewing Chinese citizens in Beijing in the aftermath of the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre. Here are just some of the snippets from a vast collection of unseen footage published 37 years later. The original report only had about 20 seconds of sound bites, so here we see a treasure trove of never seen before footage from that week.
And I can hardly find any words to speak.
How do
the people think?
We think that we should live peacefully. We don't want the army. We don't want the gunshots and the fight. You know, army firing at the innocent people. You know, we are not a handful. Only the leadership. You are a handful of people. You should step down. Or if you want to use violence, you will never know how you will die. They had lots of army they're sending lots of army from Liaoning and other places, but they didn't give bullets to those people because they think that if those people think they are too violent, they might fight. They might fight.
What do people think of the government?
Well, they think the government is barbarous.
Okay, so every June 4th, the deniers will say that, oh, look, they killed soldiers that night, that they hung the soldier from an overpass.
The army man was killed on the Zhengguomen overpass by the people, but it's not true. I saw with my own eyes it was crashed by its own armed vehicle, and the two foreign tourists saw that.
我们手无寸铁，忍无可忍。
不是我们在搞，人民在搞动乱，是他们中央一小撮在搞动乱。我们人民是好的，人民争取自由。
The Chinese people are standing up.
And this is why this video I made last year still needs to be spread around. The denial of June 4th, 1989. I stumbled upon a YouTube video titled "The Tiananmen Square Massacre Never Happened." Initially, I dismissed it as clickbait, but then I found out this was a pro-communist channel, and so I said, why not? I'll take the bait and let's, well, reveal some facts about the Tiananmen Square Massacre, or what is essentially more commonly known in Chinese, the June 4th, 1989 incident and the massacre. Let's do a simple logical test. Hundreds of thousands of PLA soldiers armed with machine guns and bayonets versus tens of thousands of civilians and unarmed students, and you're telling me that there are more soldiers who have died and zero protester deaths? In some cases, that's what they argue. Either the students and residents are Neos from The Matrix, or that the soldiers were voluntarily handing over their weapons to those protesters. If you really think about it, if the massacre didn't happen, why is June 4th, 1989 such a sensitive date and a sensitive term on Chinese social media, as if that date never existed? Why was it a streamer that held up a tank-shaped ice cream immediately got his live stream cut off and he was banned? So which one is it, CCP Shills? Is it that it never happened on 1989, June 4th, or is it that the protesters were violent? Now, maybe because the lies around Tiananmen is so bad that there's no way for them to cover every corner because there's so many key witnesses, so many facts about it, that they're simply like, hey, we're just gonna forget that day ever happened. And let's be honest, when was the last time that hundreds of tanks and APCs were needed against unarmed protesters or unarmed students? And if only 200 people died, is that somehow not a massacre? Now, be warned, there's a lot of graphic photos which I cannot show in this YouTube video, but I'll put the links in everywhere that you can see, description, comment. Viewers' discretion advised because it's very, very sensitive. And by the way, if you want to watch the full video, just check the link in the description. Ahead of this year's anniversary, activists across China from Beijing to Zhejiang province reportedly are being placed under around-the-clock surveillance, confined to their homes, and not being able to use things like VPN to access outside of China's firewall. And plainclothes officers shadowed former student movement participants. And this is the modern continuation of basically the same system that turned on students in 1989, where the days before June 4th become so sensitive. And then you have people doing the most who are trying to get you to not go to Beijing or try not to put footprints online to voice what's happening on that day.